What is going on, guys? Today I'm just going to be talking about a little bit of the news updates for the Giants Eagles game. First off, I want to start by saying this isn't out of reach. I know the Eagles are the 7.5 favorites, which isn't really all that much, but the Dolphins were uh, underdogs by 13.5 points or whatever it was or more, and they kept it to 3 with their backup quarterback against the Buffalo Bills, supposedly powerhouse. And the Giants are no strangers to becoming the underdog on the road. I mean, they were the underdog against the Vikings this year, and they won in the hostile environment. 07, they beat the Buccaneers on the road. They beat the Dallas Cowboys on the road, the number 1 seed in the NFC. They beat in the road as the 6th seed. They just got in the playoffs. They beat the Dallas Cowboys, and then they go on to the championship, and they beat Green Bay in freezing weather in Lambeau, hostile environment once again, and then they go on to play the best team in football, the New England Patriots, undefeated, and everybody ruled them out of the game. They did not think Eli Manning was gonna beat Tom Brady in this role, the MVP with the best receiver in football, the best defense, the best offense, the highest scoring offense. The Giants held them, I think, so the 13 points, I'm pretty sure, or 17, yeah, 17-13. And it's not undoable in this game. Okay, this isn't the Eagles aren't exactly the 2010 Patriots, but the Giants aren't really that much. I mean, Eagles fans will say whatever where they were running a vanilla offense against their backups, but weren't we? We were running a pretty vanilla offense. I mean, we weren't running things we'd actually run. I mean, we ran, I feel like, the same 3 plays the whole game. And with our backup defense, Jalen Hurts didn't look good that game. And Jalen Hurts is a great quarterback. Don't get me wrong. He didn't. I mean, I think he was just trying to play safe. But you can't tell me we didn't frustrate the Eagles that game because they probably thought the game would be over at the half with the backups in. Then they were going to put their backups in, but that didn't happen. So by far, that game had to frustrate them. Plus, they're going to probably be off to a slow start this game because Jalen Hurts hasn't really played since December against the actual defense and kind of sucked against the Giants in the last week. And talk about another great runs were in 2011 where we beat the Falcons. They won their we beat the Falcons. We beat the 15-1 Packers. 15-1. Does it mean that team was a really good team, especially if Aaron Rodgers? We could beat the 51 Packers with that roster, with that defense wasn't very good. We could beat the Philadelphia Eagles. And then we went on to beat the 49ers, which were 13-3, and they were probably the second best team in football that year. The Giants, even though they weren't the 6th seed, but they were the underdogs. They were only 9-7. They just got into the playoffs. They were 7-7, won the last 2 games. They could do this. It's not out of reach. They are the favorites by 7.5 points, as I said. The Dolphins were 13.5-point underdogs, and they kept it to 3. They could have won. They really could have won if Skylar Thompson was just not smart. I mean, if he actually had some awareness, he probably would have won that game. But we were the same team when we lost 48-22 or whatever it was. Whatever the score was. Blowout. We didn't really have Isaiah Hodgins. Hodgins didn't really have the chemistry he had with Jones yet. We didn't have Drew Jackson. We didn't have McKinney. Leonard Williams didn't play. Barkley barely played. I mean, Barkley looked like he was injured, and they were kind of resting him. They kind of rested Barkley on the stretch. He looked explosive last game. They're using him in the passing game. And Daniel Jones wasn't the same quarterback then. He's more confident now. The team looks more confident. They're dancing and huddles in the practice. They just seem like a team that knows how to win. It's exciting to watch. As a Giants fan, we've seen this team at 4 wins, 5 wins, 6 wins. 6 wins were the most wins we had in the last 5 years, which is ridiculous. And then this year it was just incredible that we never had a losing record. We were 6-1, and then we kind of both. Was it 2011 or 07 where they started off hot? Oh yeah, 07 started off hot, finished 4-4, right? We started off hot, we finished 3-5-1. Pretty similar. I know these aren't exactly the same teams, but it just goes to show that history can repeat itself. And to get into some of the injury updates, I'll show you guys. So if we get into the injury updates, it's looking like Lane Johnson's going to play, and doesn't look like the. All right, here we go. Avonte Maddox is out. I saw before. No Avonte Maddox. Brandon Graham, illness. Nothing to really worry about for the Eagles. Lane Johnson's going to be going through a pretty gruesome groin injury. He's going to avoid surgery. It's pretty serious from what I'm hearing. He's going to play through it. That could be an advantage for us because he might not be able to be as a dominant player as he is, like an All-Pro. Linval Joseph probably playing, and Robert Quinn is going to play. So, besides, Avonte Maddox, the Eagles pretty much have their full team. I don't know if here, I'll pull up ours. Shout out to Patricia Trina for the injury updates. We have one player questionable, and that's Azeez. I don't know how confident I am in Azeez Ojulari, considering the fact his quad has been a really lingering injury this whole season. I don't know 100%. And then we get into people that practiced today that were limited. Landon Collins, nothing really to worry about. I think today was a walkthrough, really. I think the team is apparently having a walkthrough Saturday before the game, which is I never really heard of, but it's honestly kind of a good move. Landon Collins, limited, nothing to worry about. Ankle, Isaiah Hodgins, he played with the ankle last week. Wouldn't worry about that. It's going to be fine. Julian Love has popped up. Fabian Moreau, I'm not really concerned about it, but I know last game that Cordell Flott had to come in for the end, last drive, because Fabian Moreau had a hamstring injury. Hamstrings are tricky, but I think he's going to play. Dory Jackson back at full practice. Jason Pinnock back, and Abdomen. So nothing really too much to worry about. But when Azeez plays, it's pretty effective because I think when he came back, in the last 5 weeks we had like 20 something sacks, and before that we only had like 21 sacks or something like that. And now we're like 43 sacks, 40. And we always we're bottom of the league in sacks. And that's kind of like the Wink Martindale defense. He just creates pressure. I think we had 12 different guys hit the quarterback this year, which is crazy because there's only 11 guys on the field. So that means there's other guys on the team that are just getting at the quarterback. It's just the Wink Martindale defense. I think if we circle back to the matchups, I think hold on, let me get the clips back on. But I think once we get into the game a little bit, only thing we gotta really look out for because Justin Jefferson is their quarterback, right? Because Jalen Hurts' legs are a very important part of their offense, which we're gonna prepare this game like it's Jalen Hurts is 100% for sure because I know his shoulder is a little messed up. And there was a clip in practice where everybody else was diving on the bag, and he kind of just sat down on the bag, so he didn't land on his shoulder. I know that's probably so he doesn't re-aggravate it, but it doesn't mean it's because Saquon Barkley got his shoulder injury that stayed for 5 weeks, and then eventually got better because they used him a little less. It's gonna linger. No one's 100% healthy in football by this time, anyways. But maybe you get one hit in the shoulder, and that could that could really mess up his game. So, yeah. So I know you got to watch out for the RPOs with Thibodeau because he gets a little aggressive. But Daniel Jones on offense, especially how he played last game, I'm excited to see how he does. I mean, for his first playoff game, he looked very confident. Look at him right there. He's getting his teammates ready. So he won MVP. But I'm very excited to see what he's going to do because it's going to be up to him to win this game, right? Because Saquon Barkley's a beast, but it's easier to shut down Saquon Barkley than the quarterback because the quarterback makes more plays because they throw the ball, run the ball. I don't know how big of a factor Daniel's legs are going to be this game or how many times they're going to run Barkley this game because the offense wasn't at all the same what they did in the regular season. It's almost like they saved it for the playoffs. This is a completely different playbook. It almost looked like they had the Statue of Liberty play. It was just, here's the Cordell Flott play right here where he came in for Fabian Moreau and made a really nice breakup. I'm excited about Cordell Flott because Cordell Flott, as long as he's got to gain maybe 10 to 15 pounds, and then he'll be a really good nickel or outside corner. I mean, he's got all the attributes to be a really good player in this league. Very smart, very very disciplined. Xavier McKinney made a nice play here too, but just kind of just throwing it to him. But I think what we're gonna have to do in this game, the run game, is probably just going to be there for the Eagles anyways because their run defense isn't very good because their linebackers aren't very good. Jared Davis, though, I mean, it was a little hard from last game because this last game it was kind of only his second game, so he kind of got messed up a little bit on coverages. I think there was only I don't know who it was. I think it was their backup tight end. The backup tight end or something scored a touchdown, but like we don't worry about Dallas Goedert. Dallas Goedert is not as athletic as TJ Hawkinson, but he's a very good tight end. He's probably top 8. You got to worry about him. The main thing I'm worried about, maybe you play zone coverage and you have 2 guys shadowing, right? Maybe you put a Dory on Devontae Smith because he's faster, and then you have 2 guys playing against AJ Brown, so Fabian Monroe doesn't get beat. That's what I would think you would do. But other than that, I trust the coaching staff, because it's hard to beat a team 3 times, like I said. If anybody could adjust in the third game, I think it's Brian Dable and the Giants coaching staff. So the team looks very confident, and I feel very confident in this team. If I had to pick a score, it'd be very hard for me. I would probably, even though I love my team, I'm gonna do this just so maybe to jinx it a little bit. I'm gonna pick the Eagles just so we could jinx it. Maybe that's gonna put out maybe jinx it for the Giants. I'm gonna pick the Eagles, right? That's what I'm gonna do, just to try to get the Giants to win the game. But I'm gonna also make maybe a video tomorrow doing all my predictions for all the games, and for future videos, I think I'm gonna have draft videos. I'm gonna make a big board of my top 10 players at each position, and then that'll come out during the draft time. Not now, but just future videos. But anyways, I hope you guys have a good day, and I'm going to leave my Twitter in the description below if you guys want to go hit that up, and see you guys in the next video. Peace.